Good evening. We're picking up where we left off last week. A little bit late tonight. Thank you. Congratulations, Jigstraw, on being first. A little bit late tonight. Not my fault for once. Twitch decided to run ads twice in a row. So, like, it is what it is. How crusty do your clothes need to be that you could break them with a hammer? How powerful am I? Wow. Anyway, yeah, so this is the setup of the mission that we started but didn't finish last time. Freya, Kirsten really needs to know her place. She's being so full of herself since she got that art prize for yet another abstract real oil mess on canvas. Could you head over to Tilliagard and pop that ego of hers and bring me some of her prizes? Hugs and kisses, Enid. Actually, I just had a thought. I wonder if the secret room is available for the daughter, like it is for the contractor. Let's find out. It's just like when somebody annoying is trying to get my attention. I don't think this is where it was. I think it was down here. The room is here, but I don't think there's anything to loot in here. Anyway. Right, so last time I did a lot of speculating. And I'm pretty sure that something I want to do is physically take this entire building and move it over here. Because the route that I was taking last time basically started here, went all the way around, and was by several seconds too slow. But I can move this, and if I can move the entire building, I can move this, so if I can take both of these and move them over, I could instead start here, and then do something like this, maybe? I don't think I can move this one. I would love to just not have to visit the right-hand side of this island at all. And getting from here to here feels faster than getting from here to here, so I probably want to start here. Getting up there could be a challenge, but there are big boats, and there is a crane, so like... I'm sure I can work something out. So this is kind of the elephant in the room. I need to figure out a way to grab this whole thing and run off with it. Or to cut out like the smallest possible chunk of it that doesn't set off the alarm and run off with that. Like, what actually sets this off? I presume that if I take this out of the ceiling, it'll go off? I am entirely prepared to make off with the whole building if necessary. But that also sounds like a lot of work, so if it isn't necessary, I'd rather do less. presume that the same thing will happen if I go all the way around the outside edge. Actually, I've got a jackhammer. Don't need to swing sledges, we have the technology. This is fine. Let's see. Okay, so just taking out the entire roof also sets it off. What if I don't damage the roof? What if I just go around the edge like this? I presume that there's no variant of this that I can do that'll work, but... presumptions are not always accurate. Oh. Okay, this does work, actually. Alright. So I don't need to bring the deck, I can just bring the building. Alright. I'll just put this, like, here, I guess. A little bit of extra attachment so it doesn't, be quite as inclined to break. And let's bring this whole thing down. This is fine. Textbook, let's go. Now I just need to grab this and run off with it. I think the sledge is better for, like, eliminating, like, spherical sections of things. The jackhammer is better for, like, tearing strips out of things. That's the vibe that I'm getting anyway. But I need to make a path for construction equipment to use to come and grab this thing. I wonder if those remote-controlled explosives are still here. Like the ones that I found and set off in the first mission. I wonder if those are going to be relevant, or if they're just kind of like a gag. Like, oh yeah, these are just in the area. Just chilling. Enough explosives to create the first teenage astronaut. I'm not sure if I'm simply being thorough, or if I'm taking out some sort of grudge against nature that even I'm not aware of. But I kind of want to make these trees stop existing in their entirety. Yeah, that seems pretty open. And I think that my best bet for moving it is this machine, the one with like the two cabins and like the really stable like things. Wonder how the driver parked it there? They probably drove it in and planned to back it out. Cable. I'm not entirely a fan of the slightly squishy noises that the cables make. But here we are. This is fine. Let's take this slowly and carefully because I don't want to cause enough damage to make the thing go off. And I don't want to break the crane, which can happen. And this is why we have quick saves. I wonder if I should, like, cable the roof to, like, the top of the crane so that it doesn't sway as much. Kind of, like, put it between two tensions. You know what I mean? Just something simple like that. If I intentionally shaved off as much as possible. The thing is, I don't exactly know where the threshold is. But I am reasonably confident that if I'm careful enough, this thing probably shouldn't go off. I mostly just need to stop it from, like, cracking itself open on the crane. I'm not sure if it's, like, the wooden framing breaking that's setting it off, or if it's something breaking the red cable that's setting it off. I think it's if it breaks too much of the wooden framing. Maybe a plank between the roof and the crane arm? Maybe. Damage hitting the box in the center does it, but I think it's also just causing enough damage around it. Or perhaps not. Maybe it's just if this thing gets disconnected. Alright, hold on. Perhaps I can make this a little bit more manageable. Bit of a waste of cables, but you know what? That's fine. I just need to not break it on the way down. Okay, so it's like this bit here that if it breaks, I guess it's like all of them if they break. Did I snap the cable there? Or is it actually just too much damage? Did not snap the cable. Okay, if I take off all of the... I think it might just be if too much damage is done to, like, this area. If I kind of, like, start at the window level and I take things off there, what happens? Oh. I could get that out from underneath. Yeah, I do think it's just overall damage. Right, new idea. What if I just dangle it behind me and I move really, really carefully? I don't think there's a hidden no-touch spot, because, like, different places set it off. I think it's just, like, a certain amount of damage done to it. Or, like, a certain number of, like, critical points hit. Because, like, avoiding this whole bit down here and just going around the edge didn't do anything until I took the whole thing off. I think it's just, like, a certain level of damage is the end of it. So what I might end up doing is restarting the level and actually deliberately taking more of the house to, like, give me more of a buffer to work with. Assuming that that's what it is. After dealing with this, everything else is just going to be like a cakewalk. Okay, first things first, are those explosives still here? I don't think they'll be useful, I just want to know. I can't imagine where they might have gone if they aren't here. Styrofoam. Remote detonator. Oh, hold on. So I can just put these wherever I want and then set them off with this. It's not like one big mass of stuff. Okay, hold on, hold on. That's different. That's very different, hold on. What can I do with that? So, like, my thought process is now along the lines of, like, this is some Looney Tunes stuff, but, like, could I use it to, like, blast this painting all the way over here? Like, on the shockwave, so I don't actually have to start over here? Another one is, like, I could potentially take down the house with them, so that, like, it would all come down, like, immediately, rather than needing to be, like... Or, rather, I wouldn't have to, like, preemptively destroy it and set off the timer. I could just, like, put these in there, hit a button, painting drops down, I grab it. Though that's probably not much faster than just what I was doing before, where the entire thing was on the ground and I just ran past it anyway. I do wish that I could, like, pick this up and hold it in my inventory, instead of, like, having to move it one bit at a time. I could also just walk up this hill, come to think of it. Also potentially do some car bomb shenanigans. Yeah, blasting that across is almost certainly firmly in the realm of Looney Tunes. But I want to at least give it an honest shot. Like, what if? What if it actually could happen? Wouldn't that be awesome? That didn't even break the cable. So they're probably not suitable for this. Looking at it, I don't actually have access to any other explosives, though I do have the jackhammer still. I could potentially use them to get somewhere that, like, I otherwise wouldn't be able to get to, maybe? Is there anything fun over here that I can use? In terms of, like, tools or whatever? Yep, dead bird. These things happen. There was just no saving it. The evil corporation got it. What's in this pipeline? Darkness by the looks of it. There we go. Interesting. Is that meant to be like another sculpture? Like the different like levels of worker, perhaps? I wonder if there's anything fun I can do with the thresher. This thing's missing a tire, otherwise I could just drive it. I get the impression that this area is kind of like a rural farming type area, and we're just kind of like on the outskirts of it. Antelope. I don't think I get it. Don't forget to lock the doors before you leave for summer. Yeah, about that. The Vox has reached containment. Okay, you can't blame that one on me. That was just shoddy workmanship. So Pickle taped to the wall, and now it's Relish. I'm sure that a later mission will probably take me in here, but I'm kind of curious still. Gold crocodiles. Move too quick. Not fast enough to avoid decapitation. Cleopatra's nightmare. From a distance. Cage. Not anymore. I did also kind of get Shining vibes from that with like the crack in the door. Farm. Actually, that's a thought. I could maybe steal these bridges and, like, relocate the bridge to, like, over here or something, perhaps? That's a thought. I also do have the planks and the cables. I could do, like, another suspension bridge type thing, potentially. It's like one of the biggest things is going to be, like, getting from here to here. Doing a suspension bridge would be unhinged, but, like, would potentially work. Same for, like, getting from, like, here to here. And, like, the planks and the cables are really powerful, actually. I should be more willing to use them for shenanigans. I should also be looking around to see if there's any more refills or, like, extras that I could be picking up and using. The only ones that really come to mind are the ones that are up in the building here. And I do have these big boats, where the most logical places to use those would be here or here. I recall that what I did last time was I got a fast boat, and I zooped all the way around, and then ran up like this, and then just jumped down there. But that was after starting over here and going all the way around like that, which was kind of slow. Assuming that I start here, because I don't think of any faster way to do that, I could either speedboat across, or, like I say, I could try putting, like, a big boat that I could just run across. But I think the speedboat is faster. Just the way that the village is laid out makes me think that going up it in a circle like that is ideal. Like, if I came in here and, like, went like that, getting there would be difficult. And involve more doubling back. Getting that's not a problem, especially if I dangle it like I did last time. Then it's just getting here and getting there. But where do the explosives come in? There's also these, actually. I could also use these to make a bridge. Okay, first order of business. I spent like an hour, or most of an hour, just kind of like speculating a bit. I should at least move this over here. Maybe possible to knock the tower over? Well, now I gotta try that. Let's see. I presume that it's going to set that thing off if this thing becomes detached from the world, but let's find out. Because if I can relocate the entire tower, that changes things. Assuming it's not like Cars and, like, doesn't have an indestructible line just running up the middle of it. Doesn't seem to be the case so far, at least. Good thing this jackhammer doesn't have limited ammo. Regrettable, but it was worth trying. And actually still, I could potentially do something like set it up to fall, and then only actually knock it over when the alarm is going, and then use it as that bridge. It's a thought for certain. Then there's a bunch of like wooden scaffolding over there that I can use to like make bridges. On top of just like the planks that I've got with me. This thing though, this thing should probably get moved first. So I want to try bringing the entire house this time. Or at least as much of it as is reasonably possible. Get as much of this out as possible, since I presume that they get factored into the weight. Just lands on my feet, no damage. This is fine. Oh. Falls 1 foot onto a tree. Gets hurt. Let's take this down again. Textbook demolition. If I could bring this thing over, that'd be great. I don't want to clear all these trees again. What might work a bit better is, like, rather than trying to use the crane, I could grab, like, the monster truck maybe and just drag it. I don't know if that would cause too much damage or not, though. Also, I suspect I'm gonna have to break the trees again. Does this level a fire alarm? Yes, it does. I was gonna be like, can I just burn them? Evidently not. Or at least not to the extent that I would like. Which, granted, would probably also burn that, so whatever. I'm just gonna clear a path for the monster truck and then see if it can, like, tug it at all. Or if I need to use the crane for this. It's like, I do know that I can pick this up with the crane. The only real problem last time was that it, took a bunch of damage. I never actually did try using a plank to, like, rigidly brace it. So that's also potentially a solution. Something is telling me that this won't work, but I gotta at least try it. Not sure if wedged on trees or just too heavy. I think it's just too heavy. Okay, yeah, I gotta use the crane for this, I think. It would have been nicer if I could have gotten this to fall flat. But I guess the crane doesn't matter that much, because it's just gonna lift it up anyway. I'm just imagining, like, starting up a new Minecraft world and making, like, a shovel and just bludgeoning trees down instead of making an axe. It's like, you don't need an axe, just bap it a bunch of times. Pardon me, I might be coming down with something. Not entirely certain. Oh, is this like a scrapyard? Yeah, that's usually how it goes, because you need the wooden pickaxe to mine stone. And then once you have access to cobblestone because it's abundant, there's really no reason to ever use a wooden tool. Like, if you're ever at a point where your budget doesn't allow for cobblestone, it's like... Are you playing Skyblock? That's basically it. Automod, like most machines, doesn't understand context or nuance. Don't worry, I approved you. A little bit of a tight squeeze, but got out of there just fine. There's something very satisfying about, like, deploying these legs and then being like, yeah, I'm secure. Slip out of the way. Oh dear. This is fine. I could also potentially use this as a bridge to get up there. If I find, like, a better way to handle this. Or if I can, like, repurpose this after moving this. Almost ended up like Wicked Witch of the East. Is that the one that got squished under Dorothy's house? I presume so. Okay, get lifted. A little bit of damage is acceptable. I like how it deposited me into the house. I'm just gonna do a little bit of this and see if that helps. And let's grab this and make sure it's not left behind. Good enough. I do think it's overall damage to the structure that sets off the alarm. Oh. And keep the load balanced. What if we just... What? I was gonna be like, what if we just pretend this is good enough? Oh dear. What did I do differently the first time? It's a little bit rough, but that's okay. Worst case scenario, I can simply reset the mission again. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. But it is an option if I need it. I probably need to take it slower and more methodical than that. Which is unfortunate because slow and methodical is not my forte. If I don't think too hard about what's happening, it can't hurt me. Awesome. Alright. Now I want to get this over here, which in hindsight might have been easier to do first, but whatever. Just get this up and out of the way. Nice little, path we can go through. This is fine. I don't think I'm getting the crane back, not from that. Okay, now for this thing, I could potentially use like the monster truck or the thresher for this maybe. There are some wheels on this, but they're not particularly strong. Though it would be funny if I could just, with some effort, just drive it up and be done with it. Probably not gonna happen though. I wonder if this is how actual, like, cargo trucks are constructed. Like a metal frame with, like, a thin sheet in front. Whoopsie. I guess it's not wrong to assume that, like, everything is constructed as cheaply as possible. Tends to be how things go. Alright, we're gonna take tonight's first 5-minute break here. Please use this time to refill your beverage, go to the bathroom. Anything that would take you about 5 minutes. I will see you shortly. Every turn. My thought process is basically, if I can get these wheels onto the pavement, I might have an easier time moving. My second thought process is, what if I just tow it with like the monster truck? It'd be nice if I could just like grab a wheel and put it on, but I don't think that's an option. Will this explode if I shoot it? Yes, it will. I imagine that the Thresher is probably better for towing. It looks like a stronger vehicle across the road, or across the board. But the monster truck is fun. And if I don't use it here, it's like, where would I use it? Maybe I could like pull this thing up on top, grab it, and then monster truck jump across. I should try that actually. Hold on. Can I get the painting up to the surface? Because monster trucking across could be a very funny alternative to boating. And I'm on board with things that are funny. That went way more smoothly than I thought it would, not gonna lie. I did not anticipate the light being there, but I'm not gonna complain. How far can I take this? Okay, hold on. So instead of dropping down there and going across, I could start here, and then monster truck jump across. In light of that, rather than trying to tow with the monster truck, I'll probably try towing with the Thresher instead. I know that the monster truck can make this jump. I did that in the first mission. Maybe like... Alrighty then. Just deposit me onto the roof. But alright, okay, so I start here, I get over here way faster than I thought I would. It does mean that I can't use this route. But I could probably do some stuff with planks and do that route. Then it's just getting over here. I also still need to tow this, so I should do that first. Alternately, I still could like grab that, jump down into a boat, if the truck ends up not working for me. I don't think I need this arm for anything, so I'm just gonna take it off so that it doesn't, like, cause any trouble. Oh, you know what? I bet this thing would have been really good at clearing out the trees, come to think of it. Like, hold on, I want to try this. It is not very nimble. What does this do to trees, though? Not as much as I'd hoped, if I'm being entirely honest. Okay, but it is definitely strong enough to tell, so that's good. A lack of nimbleness merely means that it's got a ton of inertia. Now, can I get this through here without calamitous failure? I think I'm stuck. I'm trying to get this thing to inch just a little bit farther forward. I probably don't need that much leeway, but like a little bit more couldn't possibly hurt, is my thought process. Okay, I don't think I'm getting more than that. Or am I? Alright, so I grab that, I grab this. I get out of dodge. Alright, now I need to figure out a way to get from here to here. I either bring this down and go across, or I get up there and get across. I wonder if I could make this jump with Blue Tide. Because if I could, then jumping like that would be awesome. I can jump pretty far with Blue Tide. I could like aim for this tree and then just like go in, perhaps? I'd like a plank up here. Okay, if I can get up here, then getting over there, I do just jump. Alright. Don't need to put anything fancy in the water. There is a crane there. I'm a bit of a nervous quick saver, sorry. Every time I have a thought, I save to lock it in. There's so many of these things here that I could potentially use. I can either try to build something to the tree itself, or I could just land in the area and then just like walk up something. It almost feels like it'd be a waste not to make use of all like the wooden pallets around here. I don't think I can run up this. Yes, I can, actually. Especially if I had a few more. Or perhaps a cable. To, like, stretch it out a bit. Need to pull this forward just a little bit more. I want to make this happen. Oh, whoops. I'm not sure if that's going to work, but if it does, it'll entertain me greatly. If not, I will simply try building something else. Like I say, there are those, like, pallet things around. I don't think they're pallets, but, like, the wooden things. Ow. I suspect that this is not a reliable jump. Oh, I didn't even need the planks, actually. Alright. Yellow paint? Yellow paint doesn't change anything. I had to, like, land on a pixel with no momentum. So, like, I have to like, kill my momentum at a certain point midair. Okay, so the planks do buffer against not quite having a perfect dismount, but that's okay. That's good. Alright, alright. So now it's how do I get up here as quickly as possible? And it's probably from here. So like I land here. I probably want to go down, over, up like this, over like that. Alternatively, I could ditch this plan even though it's cool and pull this down like I did earlier. And find another way across and just like run up with planks. Which is also an option. I kinda wish that I could have like multiple saves. Rather than just like the one save slot. So I could be like, okay, I want to go back to like after getting these in place, but before setting all this up. Just in case it didn't quite work out. Oh well, it is what it is. So my thought process here is basically, let's open it up so I can run up from down there. Try to find a quick save in local files. Depends on if it's a file or if it's just, like, data written to RAM. Let's see. So... there's this thing... I grab that, I run through here, I want to get up there. The way of getting up there that comes to mind is to... and this might just be my brain, like, looking for an excuse to use these things, but it's to grab a bunch of these, tie them together, and then throw one end over. Truly, as the daughter of a billionaire, I do possess the ability to pull myself up by the bootstraps, it seems. Oh, there's a staircase here, I didn't even see that. So I could go like that, actually. Good to know. Alright. We'll just... go like this. Trying not to think too hard about the sounds of wood breaking. Honestly, my planks are probably better for this. Yeah, there are a fair number of games where via shenanigans you can end up lifting yourself. Mostly when carrying is implemented by making your character just, like, magically apply force to an object rather than, like, actually, like, picking it up. There goes the City of Tears. Am I set to Hollow Knight or something? I don't think I am. Oh, Teardown. Gotcha. Tear. Puns? Not even puns, really, so much as just wordplay, I guess. So I get up like this. I pull that as far forward as possible. Rather than using the door, I will simply come straight through this wall. So up through here, grab that. And I want to get up there, which is definitely going to be the challenging bit. I can maybe try to instead get from here to on top of this, and then from on top of this to up there. But that's still quite the gap. Though planks are kind of OP, so what if I just try it and see what happens? Just do that a few times. Probably not gonna work by itself. Oh. I've been imprisoned for my crimes. Anyway, this banner could maybe also work. Is there any, like, really long thing that I could drape across? That I could also reasonably get over there? Okay, I'm thinking to myself, what if I try like a House of Cards type thing? Kind of like these sandwich boards. What if I could do that with planks? Cable from here to one of those? I don't think so. The cable just don't stretch that long. Cables are that long at most. I'm thinking something like... I could actually use this, maybe. So yeah, I'm thinking like... I do this... You like prop it up on something temporarily. I guess I could use a cable for this. Okay, that gets me up here. then to get over there, if I could... I see a little hole there. I wonder if I can, like, thread something through that. Ow. Might go the way I hoped. I have an idea, I promise. I just need to find where that hole corresponds to in here. I think it might be that. Yeah. Imagine if I spent all stream on this one level and didn't even pass it by the end. That'd be embarrassing. Okay, so... now the idea is... I do that. Which isn't much by itself. But then if I do that, all of a sudden, we find ourselves in the midst of a shenanigan. So... this is really janky, but if it works, it works. Oh dear. Alright. Now I just gotta make this a little bit cleaner. I'm probably not getting much better than that. Yeah, perhaps I shouldn't push my luck, so... hoping that this doesn't explode before I need it. I run up, grab that, pop a blue tide, run over like that. Coming up from down there. So I just need a way from approximately here, down to there, through there, up here. And then if after all of that, I don't get better results than last week, I'm not sure how I'll react. It'd be a tiny little bit heartbreaking to have to start over at this point. Granted, I have learned a fair amount, but still. Okay, so I crash the car here, I pop out. I'm probably like either here or like up on the roof. I want to run over like this. You know, planks and cables are really strong. They're like the definition of like boring but practical. They're not the most exciting thing, but they will work. The vast majority of the time. It's like I don't need a super move, I just need something that consistently works. The super moves are definitely more fun to land. I don't know why I'm trying to demolish this whole thing. I just need a route through it. I guess refer to the previous statement about it being more fun to, like, do things over the top. Okay, so I run through here. Match this up so I don't fall in. Run over, grab that. I want to end up over there. I can just roof hop. Like an 80s anime character. I wonder if I can make another suspension bridge. That's where my head's at right now. Just need to find my way back around, get back up there. Granted, I do have 50 planks. I could just make myself like a utility staircase. Like, not to use in the heist, just to use to get around a bit easier. There we are. Alright, perfect. I just need this. I can probably pull it out and put it on the roof. Oh. That's not where I want that. I feel like I don't throw things nearly often enough in this game. It is a feature. Oh. You get back here? I'm going to get this into a place where it won't immediately snap back down. Alright, run over, grab this. And then actually, we don't have to go all the way around, we can just go straight like this, I think. We just jump, jump, jump. There's a tree in the way. A very pretty tree, but one that is regrettably in my way, and therefore must be destroyed. Like all enemies of the fox. Vengeance is inevitable. If you wrong her and don't immediately suffer, it just means that she's biding her time until she can make it really stick. Or until she has the means to do it properly. Vengeance is fun. I like vengeance. Like, it's not vengeance per se, but like genuinely the most like euphoric joy that I experience in this life is when I've inflicted suffering on somebody. And I don't, in like a way that I don't have to feel guilty about. Okay, up like this. Yeah, if it's vengeance, it just means that I have like a justification for it. Up like this, grab this. Grab those. Jump across, end up there. Now I just need a way out of there down here, which shouldn't be too hard. And then I can see if 2 hours of preparation was enough. Time flies when you're having fun. I'm not sure if these missions are like just substantially harder than the main campaign ones, or if I just like ended up getting walled by this one in a way that like most missions don't wall me. Either way, once I get it, I'll be very pleased with myself. Grab that, burst out here. Probably run up like this. Somebody threw a couch down here. What a vandal. Go like this. Like this, grab this, get out of here. Alright. Ignore the fact that my car is profoundly blocked in. I'll figure something out, surely. It just feels like a shame that I didn't use the explosives. Okay, hold on. Very important final step, I think. Let's get these back. Yeah. Alright, so this one... This one I'm gonna put in the gas station. Hopefully here it'll get both the pump and the giant tank. This one... Where do I want to put this one? Maybe like in a speedboat? Bit of a trek, but I think it's funny, so it's worth doing. Honestly, the boat owner will probably thank me. They'll be like, the insurance payout means that I finally can pay off my boat. I know that one's not exactly subtle, but like imagine being on a boat and then just like finding an explosive, like armed. That's gonna be like a terrifying situation. And it's probably happened to like at least one person. Like, for most people, finding explosives is a scary thing. I, however, I am an immortal video game protagonist, so... to me, it's just an opportunity. Ripe for shenanigans. Okay, so the idea is grab this, jump this, get that, 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 get that. Yep, that's everything. Let's give it a go and see how it goes. Shoot. I like how you can just see the plume of smoke in the distance from the explosion going off. I also do have 4 blue tines, I should probably be using them a little bit more. Extra speed adds up and all that. Okay, that was really clean. I had like 10 seconds left over and I could have had more if I had been a little bit, what's the word? A little bit cleaner with my approach. That went really well. I'm proud of myself. Upper class table manners. Alright, what does Mother want? Oh, that's Father. Hi, Pumpkin, could you help me out with putting the first coat of paint on the crowns to go in the garage? Yeah, no, like I basically flipped it from last week. I needed 10 seconds and this time I had like a spare. Definitely a much better approach this time. Oh, this is slow. Is there a faster way? Or is this just my life now? Is there a faster way? There's gotta be like a faster way. Like a pro paint canister where I throw it and it explodes paint all over it. It actually lowered the paint level of the car. Can I break the car into smaller pieces? I kinda just tried that and it kinda didn't work. I guess I just have to do this the boring way, the methodical way. the pixel by pixel way. This is one of the reasons I'm not cut out to be like a, or I'm not like as cut out to be a digital artist as I could be. I just don't have the patience to click every pixel individually. Which is obviously the only way to do digital art. It is definitely how artists do things. I like how I'm also painting the windshield. It's like, honey, what's in front of us? Well, it's yellow, so we ought to stop, but we can keep going. There's an impressive amount of, like, air pressure left in this aerosol. That is definitely a finished job. Hi, Pumpkin. I promised to help Enid with that art contest. She's going up against Kirsten in all 6 categories. There's a mess of them all that needs my attention, otherwise I'd do this myself, but now I need your help misplacing some of Kirsten's paintings to even out the odds. We're going to take tonight's second 5-minute break here. Please use this time to refill your beverage, go to the bathroom. Anything that would take you about 5 minutes. I will see you shortly. I return. That was more like 6 minutes, but who's counting? Let's steal some stuff. Okay, so this time it's all of the exhibits that I saw the other day. Alright. Large trailer for a small car. I mean... I could see it working as long as the actual load wasn't too heavy. I was like, how far will this thing stretch? About that far, more or less. Let's see. And this is quote-unquote suspended over the pool and heavy. I wonder if I can find the crane car to kind of like grab that. It's not a car, but like, you know what I mean? If I can find like the big crane for it. I like how they went to all the effort of putting this back up again. Every place I've ever been that would have stayed broken forever. That is a very big, very explosive truck. I should also probably case the rest of it. But I'm just immediately in like, ooh, I get to use the crane mode. The crane is fun. I like the crane. I think I clipped the tire on that thing. I don't think it'll matter that much. We'll find out. Oh, I gotta turn this around. Oh dear. You know what? When was my last quick save? A ways back, but not that big of a deal. My throat is a little bit gunky, please bear with me, I'm sorry. I don't know if I mentioned it like the start of stream, but I think I might be coming down with something. Oh, thank you for the hydration. If I am, hopefully it's mild. Fancy vehicle. I keep forgetting that I can use the little vehicles to just get around. I think that's a hearse? No, it's a car. If it was a hearse, it'd have like 4 hooves and it'd be going like nay. We don't need caution. Ow, 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 ow. Thank you for the apples. Wait, I just lost the front of my thing for no reason. What? I mean, it was obviously for a reason, but I didn't see the reason. Imagine if I could just like clip this thing. Like no cable shenanigans, just slip it in and it like clicks into place like super satisfyingly. I think that'd be like really nice. It would satisfy me quite a lot. I can conceivably just plow this thing straight through here. Will that snap the crane arm off, though? Or do I have to, like, lower it? Or get this thing out of the way? Let's find out. Right? A straight line works. It does mean that I would need, like, roughly half the time just for this one thing, though. Which, granted, there aren't that many other things, but... Is there not a better way? Can I separate this? I assume that this will go off if I break this. Yeah. Now this thing just doesn't move very fast. I don't think that the trees were slowing it down in particular. Maybe the crane isn't the best way to do this. Like, I do have enough slack. I could get it over here and then, like, put it on something faster, rather than carrying it with the crane. Like, I can use the crane to get it over here and then, like, put it on, like, the monster truck or something. Or, like, a pickup truck. I don't think I want to use the crane to get it all the way over. It does say that it's heavy, but I presume that that just means it needs a vehicle, not that it needs, like, a heavy vehicle. Let's see how well the monster truck does this, because the monster truck I think would get there much faster than 30 seconds. If this does end up being the thing that I do, I don't actually have to back in the crane, and it would actually be easier if I drove the crane in. But at the moment it's a little bit moot. That is a big cage. And I'm missing part of my bed. And then I just drive off with this, and... not even close. Okay, yeah, that's way faster. That is way, way faster. So what I probably want to do, in light of this, is I probably start over here, go in here, run across, get that. Maybe I go here, go up, get that, go down, get that, run over, get this, get in the truck, and get out. That is the rough plan so far. If I back this whole thing up, I can put the monster truck closer to where I would like be hopping off at the south end of this and just zoom off. I am the best chauffeur. Chauffeurs are the ones that, like, drive your car and park it for you, right? Or are chauffeurs the ones that, like, watch over children to make sure that the children don't get up to antics when there's, like, a party or whatever? No, I'm thinking of chaperone. Chauffeur is the car one. Alright. I am the best chauffeur. I would be a terrible chaperone. The kids would be like, hey, Ariel, Miss Ariel, can we do, Miss Fox, I guess it'd be. Miss Fox, can we do crimes? And I'd be like, as long as I don't see them, yeah. Or they'd be like, can we do drugs? And I'd be like, as long as I don't smell them, yeah. Like, you do you, I don't care. Oh, the breaking of the ground here. That's satisfying. I like that. It feels powerful. I'm gonna try connecting this with just one cable rather than 5. In hindsight, 5 was perhaps a little bit excessive. Granted, excessive is kind of 99% of what I do, but still. Gotta wait for this thing to pendulum its way back to me. Asking permission to do drugs is silly. I mean, that's the sort of thing that I would get up to as a child if I was to do such a thing, I think. I'd be like, hey, is it okay if I do drugs? I wouldn't want to, like, you know, do something that's not okay. I was a very obedient child growing up. Not always to my own benefit. Just my nature. Swing this around. Want to be careful about getting it stretched out. Let's go get that monster truck. Have the explosives been replenished? Yes, they have. Awesome. Jokes aside, I genuinely despise the mentality of it's easier to ask forgiveness than permission. Like, so often I see it used to, like... I see it used by people to do, like, genuinely terrible things. Under the justification of, like, well, nobody told me that it wasn't okay. It's like, you should have been able to infer. I'm not snapping at you in particular, it's just... I've heard that sort of thing before, and it usually resulted in things not being great for me. There we go. Okay, so I can, like, jump down from here. Oh, that's a spider. That's kind of cursed. Well, not cursed, but... that's scarier than I thought it was gonna be. What happens if I take this whole thing down? I assume that sets it off. Very strong wood. Surely this will, surely this will cause it to go off. Surely. What's it called? Arachnid Memoria. I can also just dangle that. Yeah, that was kind of obvious that that would happen that way. But with this down here like that, I could just, like, jump from here to there, grab that, go, rather than going all the way around. So in light of that, maybe my route is start here, go in here, get that, like that. That could probably work. Let's get the thing out of the storage shed again. Getting in here, I probably just want to run along this concrete thing. So grab that, run up here. Go in here. I want this chair. Inverse dynamics. Maybe the idea is, like, the higher-ups are supporting the workers rather than the other way around. Like, oh, you'd sync without us rather than the other way around. So I come through here, grab this, go up like this. Can I get this onto the stairs? might just grab this along the way. I think if I threw it, it would break it. So yeah, then I ship along like this. I could go over there, but I do want to get the stuff over here, so I run like this. I do have blue tide. Is that a hot dog taped to a wall? Is it really a hot dog? I can't actually pick it up. Interesting. It's something up there. So I probably want to do something like this. Run up like this, grab this. Then I want to end up over there. I run like that. Hopefully, what is happening? Okay, that was weird, but anyway. I'm like the bird in a glass cleaner commercial. Just like, what? What have I encountered? Okay, I go like this. I come up like this. Oh, I gotta transport this as well in a vehicle. That complicates things. I see now that this also was labeled heavy and I just didn't notice. How shall I manage this one? I can maybe like drag it and like throw it. I don't have thrusters. Those would be really fun to use. It's not heavy. I could potentially physically pick it up anyway. I wonder if there's any way to, like, make this jump while holding this. How powerful is the blue tide? Oh, you're going to bed? Have a wonderful rest of your night. Thank you for the head tats. Surprisingly close, honestly. But I don't think it's gonna work, because even if I went and I got, like, this crane and I could, like, land on it with a jump, I don't think that'll quite work. But the shape of this thing feels very willing to let the thing go down this way. Another reason why I'd be terrible with, like, chaperoning kids. Getting called Miss Fox would be really weird. It's like, I'm not old enough to be called Miss. It's like, wait, no. Yes, I am. Huh. I am very much an adult. When did that happen? I'm not qualified for this. Granted, I guess that's just like every adult. I'm just more willing to admit it than most. Alright, so painting comes out this way. I potentially have like another vehicle here to have it, or like maybe I bring around the monster truck, pop out, cable it, and then drag them both over at once. Because like these things are all relatively close to one another. I do have a bit of like time budget for shenanigans. So, if I did this, then I just have to snap this and I can just like start pushing this. Gotta make sure that this is flat. Or maybe just like go to the other end and do this. Then maybe instead of jumping, I take like another car like this, and then take the monster truck back. That could work. I'll get rid of these and patch it up just a little bit. Make my life just a teensy bit easier. That out of the way. Now I just need a zippy car. Doesn't have to be insanely fast, just decently. Something with respectable acceleration. Yeah, this will probably work. If I want to take the monster truck through here, I gotta clear out all these hedges. At speed, I should clarify, the monster truck could probably clear these hedges on its own, just not quickly. It always seems to come back to demolishing trees. I can't escape them and they can't escape me. An eternally recurring cycle of vengeance. They get in my way and then I get in their obituary. I was gonna say something like imagine having an obituary for a tree, but then it's like, wait. I could totally imagine having an obituary for a tree. Maybe not like in an official newspaper, but like I could totally see myself caring enough about a tree to like write something in its memory if somebody tore it down. This is probably a decent use case for those explosives, come to think of it. Alternatively, I could just carve these out. I'm just imagining inhaling all of this, like, dust. It's not fun to imagine. It's like, who needs personal protective equipment? You just need somebody screaming at you to stop being lazy when you complain. Yep, there's no such thing as OSHA when you have a father with delusions of being a handyman. It's just you're helping. You don't get to say no. And then it's like, why don't you make my brother do this? He's so much stronger than me. And then it's just like, well, he doesn't actually do it if I tell him to. You do. It's like, oh. Though I usually didn't get an explanation, it was usually just stop complaining. This has turned into a slight trauma dump, I'm sorry. Generally not the direction that I try to go. I wonder if this is flat enough for a monster truck to go over. It probably is, given that it's a monster truck. The trees are likely to still be in the way, but let's see how this goes. Fairly well, all considered. Then I can like hop out here, hook the thing up, get back in, juke around. Alright. It would definitely be faster if I got the trees out of the way, though. Which just brings us back to more tree destruction. It's like every time I play a factory game, like Satisfactory or Factorio, I always just end up, like, deforesting entire regions. It's not my intention, it's not what I set out to do, but it is what ends up happening. At least it goes pretty quickly once you start tearing down the trunk. Like the length of it. All the branches just kind of fall off. It is quite satisfying to reduce these things down to nothing. It's like, behold, an expression of my power. My evil power fantasy, being able to, like, manually wood chip trees down to nothing. It's like, you have any idea what kind of work ethic it takes to get sawdust with a hammer? I am the person that boomers like to pretend they are. I probably don't need to kill this one. As sad as it is to, like, remove nature, it is kind of satisfying to see the fruits of my efforts. Oh yeah, that is just a straight shot. Alright, so... I grab that, run up, grab that, push that down there, run back, get this, run over, tether it, run over. There's a lot of back and forth, which feels slow, but I don't know how I can make it faster without getting a car up here. If this ends up not working, though, I'll probably have to come up with a new plan next week. But if it does end up working, then yay. Victory for Fox. As is proper. Go fast, go fast, go fast. Faster. What are you caught on? There's nothing here. Go fast. I don't think I have enough time. Maybe if I'd been faster. Or like, what if I'd not gotten it, like, stuck on something? Let's see, so I go like that, I go up here, grab this. Let's not wait for this door. We go like this. We don't wait for this door either. around, we go up here. We get this. We stop, we turn around, we go like this. With the blue tie to get up here easy. I don't mess up the gunshot. I send this down. Get it out here. Right, I was gonna take this over. I wasn't gonna turn around. So I throw the painting down, drive over, drive back. Everything's good? Question mark? Alright, let's try this again. Overshot. These things happen. I could probably make the hole bigger, but forgot that I had to turn around that one. Overshot, but whatever, this is fine. We make adjustments on the fly, this is fine. I want to use all my blue tie before I do the dragging and driving bits. This would be so much easier if this, like, slid. I don't... Okay, so it clogs up when it... Clog's not the right word, but whatever. It stalls when it hits the bottom there. Okay, hitting the engine of this thing definitely slowed it down. It's also not particularly suited for off-road. I might need a different plan. This one's kind of the elephant in the room. Yep, there's a bunch of these metal grates around. I wonder if I could get a car up there, actually. That'd be kind of unhinged, but, like, it would make life a lot easier if I could. Or, like, anything with an engine, really. Is my thinking even remotely in the bounds of practicality? It would have to be something like, whoops. It would have to be something like this metal grating so that the car wouldn't, like, break it with just its weight. And it would probably have to be a contiguous piece so that it wouldn't, you know, break it with its weight. Like a joint with, like, a cable or whatever. Okay, this is heavy, but that's okay. That's kind of what I'm going for. Heavy means hard to move once... Heavy means both... Whoops. Heavy means both hard to move into position, but also hard to move out of position. And I'm willing to put up with the former to obtain the latter. Straighten this thing out. Give it a little push. Maybe into this thing. I make this a little bit shallower. Just a little bit. Okay, am I even, like, slightly in the bounds of reality right now? Or is this just insanity? I am trying to avoid planks, but I do know from experience that they can be used once to get a car up something. Right. Not how I expected this to fail, not gonna lie. Little bit anticlimactic. Try this again. Come on, keep going. I believe in you. This out of the way. My back wheels are off the ground, I think is the problem here. There we go. I probably need to approach with speed if I'm gonna do that. Oh geez, I'm all the way back up here. Are there any longer segments that I could use for, like, more of a run-up? Maybe I could carve out, like, a really long strip of concrete and use that instead. Or, like, imagine if I could, like, weld them together with the blowtorch. Sadly, it's more of a cutting torch than a welding torch. What if I used a crane to lift a car onto the museum to drive it up? I could see that happening. Like, I can imagine it. And then I drive it up here, park it here, cable it, cut the cable, just like gun it in reverse. I can like envision it. I can imagine like what has to happen in the world where that actually works. That said, we are out of time for tonight. So I will simply have to stew on this for the next week or so. That said, next stream is tomorrow. The game is going to be Ender Lilies, Quietest of the Nights. Next time that I'm playing Teardown in particular is going to be on Sunday. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful evening. I hope to see you again. Good night.